Savage 110 high country. It's got a Hawke Endurance 30 scope. This is my first time shooting with either of these items. This Hawke Endurance 30 is awesome. Not even the label can stay on. Well, I lucked out. One of my helpers helped me find the missing label. I don't mind the scope. It seems like it's holding zero well, but the one part I hate is the dot, the center dot on that reticle just is a little too large, I think, for precision shooting. Here's the scope that I have. This makes me laugh. Designed in the UK. That usually means made in China, which is exactly where this one's made. And I have my first shot with the Reloader 22, and I've got my last shot with the H4350. So right here was the last group of 5 with the H4350. And right there is the first group on the starting load with the Reloader 22. So this is the big shocker. The Reloader 22 actually closed up its grouping quite nicely. I tried that highest power load, that's right here, and its grouping closed significantly. This may have a little more merit than I was thinking. On a side note, I want to bring your attention to this scrape right here. We've got these flip up caps that came on the scope, or came with the scope, and just that little tab is just enough where it scrapes along that. And I'll probably remove the one on the back just so I can stop ramming the bolt handle on the side of the scope. Now that we're back at the estate, here is a closer look at my Hawke Endurance 30 rifle scope. For the illuminated reticle on this would be in the off position. Of course, you can see the marking there on the scope. You just spin that. It's pretty easy to adjust. That takes it to the brightest. This takes it to the dimmest. There's a positive stop at the dimmest level. And then you turn it all the way off and it turns it off. It's actually probably more of a gimmick in my own personal opinion. It's hard to see right now, but I do have the red dot on. Right now it looks pretty minute. When you go at 100 yards, that takes up 1.25 inches on your target. That's what the red dot looks like with the cover over the objective lens. This is the nameplate that goes on the opposite side of this scope. That fell off the first time I went and shot it. Probably just a fluke on my end, but I did notice that the newer versions of this scope have everything etched into the side of the scope. So I don't think it's a problem that I'm the only one that had. One thing I do like about this is it's finger adjustable turrets. You don't have to have a coin. There's no coin slot in it. But you can, I don't really want to touch it right now because it's zeroed in. So you can see right here, that's where this bad boy should belong. Oh, that's much better. For the most part, the overall build on this scope seems like it's all right. I don't have too many complaints. One item on this scope that I feel is a little bit more chintzy than I'd like is this rubber grip for when you change the magnification on your scope. It's kind of hard to see, but when it's not really on there. So it's just kind of loose, and when you spin it, you can feel that it's not firmly attached. The fast focus eye relief, it's rubberized, and it is easy to move. It feels quality, doesn't feel chintzy or gritty at all. Just for comparison, and I don't think this is a fair comparison, I have a Leupold VX II 6x18 scope. It also is mounted with the Dual Dovetail Leupold rings. These turrets are coin adjustable. I really like the fact that this scope has the adjustable parallax on it. This focus is not a fast focus. You set the focus where you want it to be, and then you tighten that up, and then that will hold your focus where you want it to. This Hawke scope has a sunshade on it, which makes it look gigantic compared to the Leupold. Is there anything that this Hawke does better than this Leupold does? The Hawke has the fast focus And it does have the finger adjustable turrets. My first Hawke Endurance 30 had some problems. There were no issues when I exchanged it. After receiving the scope back in the mail, it's been sitting in a box for quite a few years. So after I got this gun, I was looking at different scopes and I had forgot that I even had this. I would just have a hard time suggesting anybody go buy this particular scope. And from my experience with it, I don't think I would suggest anyone buy the Hawke brand again. But if it's working for you, that's fine, keep it. Right now, this one's working for me, and it's better than not having a scope on it. So I imagine that this scope is going to sit atop this rifle for many years to come.